but today I'm going to be talking about a story of a family member, my dad. This just makes me a little nervous and emotional. My dad and his nurse were unfortunate victims of unsafe staffing. My dad went to a Twin City hospital with TIE symptoms, or symptoms of muscle weakness and tingling. He was then admitted to a stroke unit. He was to be watched more closely for a stroke. The nurse that admitted him that night knew that I was a nurse, so she felt comfortable talking to me about how busy she was, how understaffed she was, and that she was actually thinking about leaving to work somewhere else. During that night, she had another admission besides my dad's to do, and missed very important neuro checks that needed to be done on my dad per the doctor's order to monitor him closely for a stroke, which he ended up having that night, and she missed it because she was too busy. There was no documentation of the neuro checks that were not done, and the staff admitted that the neuro checks were missed, which were to check for worsening stroke symptoms of increased tingling and weakness. So my dad did not get the immediate testing or treatment needed for a stroke victim. They did not notice his evolving stroke until that morning when my dad woke up unable to move his left arm, leg, and had difficulty speaking. He couldn't even find the call light to call for help. The family filed a complaint and talked with the lawyer. The nurse was disciplined and left that unit. And I'm just quite emotional today because we just found out that shortly after that nurse committed suicide. Because of this situation. Our hearts go out to that nurse and her family who suffered loss as we did because of no proper staffing. So she could correctly follow the protocol in doing the frequent neuro checks on my dad. Our intent was not to place blame on this nurse because I myself know how it is to work understaffed. But for the hospital to look at the whole system and learn from this traumatic incident with unsafe staffing. My dad was not compensated, but was given flowers from the hospital as an apology. Today, he is not 100% and still suffering effects from the stroke, which I feel could have been prevented with safe staffing so the nurse could do her job properly and safely to assess his evolving stroke early so he could get the immediate treatment needed for better recovery, and that nurse may still be alive today.